And put my little hoodie on. Um, I really should be asleep right now, but I I had an afternoon evening with my brother, and it really is a roller coaster, isn't it? You know, um, as I start to learn more about him through who he was before and this illness, I think one of the things that was challenging for me was to try to figure out like what parts are him and what parts are the illness, you know? And I'm still working on learning that too. Um, but some things that had happened in the last few days kind of helped me. It's in a lot of ways, it feels like spiritual upgrading where are you ready for the next level of spiritual being, not necessarily um, achieving, if that makes sense. But it's like, am I ready for this new challenge to know yourself deep enough to not take what you are and parts of similar personalities are to get in the way of helping somebody? I know that was kind of a long thing. It's like basically family character traits, or generational curses or whatever. And you just kind of have to get over yourself in order to be able to help somebody else. That's literally me. This is the fancy way of me saying put your mask on your own face first versus stop trying to save everybody else until you can save yourself. And when you could save yourself, then yes, you can reach out to others. So yeah, so that's my long roundabout way of saying that. But as I'm, yeah, dealing with him, I see the faults in me that I've seen, like, had to deal with. And I'm still working on it, but I'm more self aware of it. And I'm just trying to retrace my own steps on how was I able to help myself enough to get to where I am right now, and to be able to help coach him out of it too. Knowing who I am is almost like if we share similar character traits, then what worked for me might work for him, and not in a way of like forcing it, but just knowing someone, you know? So right now, let me take a look and see what's going on here. Who is this? Mm, this is very interesting. All right. So, is mental illness another form of autism? That's something I'm starting to think about now. Only because the medications that I've been seeing so far are a lot of the same medications that um, that work for kids, because I deal with students and their autism. So I don't find myself in a lot of uh, hmm. So yeah, I don't find myself in a lot of populations of mental illness. I am in a population of students who have ADHD, autism, and I'm just sitting here, you know, about to go to sleep. And then I'm like, wait a minute. All the students I've worked with in the past 3, 4 years of various forms of autism, I might not know all the language around it, but I can see certain characteristics, some similarities, all the things, right? But then if I apply the things I know with students with autism to certain forms of mental illness, especially in my brother, I might actually crack a code here, at least for him, because knowing him, he's not violent. So I not to say I don't fear him, but I know he is in there. It's almost like the him who he really is in there, and he's just being affected by biochemical malfunctions. Like the soul heart of him is in there. Like if anybody believes in souls, knowing that our bodies, our physical bodies, are nothing but a shell. And if it's misbehaving, now most people always just assume it must be like a broken limb or organ failure or anything like that. But what if the failure is in the brain that produces the hormones, but you're still in there? I know that's what's happening. You're still in there. And if you're trying to nourish your body, your brain, where the malfunction is, that will try to restore some function there. I mean, to me, that only makes sense. So, and not to say instead of using medication that blocks one, like biochemical process from another and this and that or whatever, bounce into things, basically hacking your system. What about just like a cut on a finger, you can restore. It might not still function the same. Just like, again, you can see the scar, but there is some kind of repair there. Okay. So, what if instead of thinking about this, like it feels, I don't even know I could put that part into words. So the soul of him is in there. And anybody that has family members and they know their people, right? And they know who is really in there. Like the most perfect examples of this is a mom when her child is still an infant. She knows her baby. She knows her child before they can even talk. Most of them, right? So what I'm saying, excuse me, is that maybe there are family members that know each other so deeply and for so long that you know who is who eventually, right? I thought it was going to be an issue. That's what I said earlier. But really, he is in there. And even though he might be doing things that are irate or unusual, he's actually trying to fight back. One thing I've noticed, I have not sensed any despair. not in my presence. Despair. Hmm. But yet, now that I think about it, despair in children with autism kind of looks like rage a little bit, a little bit. So maybe that's an adjustment to be made. So yeah, I know this one went kind of loopy and all over the place, but I need to be getting these kind of connections down. So I really do like I didn't come on earlier about the day 5 or 6, I don't even know. And that's the thing. So I thought I was basically worried all day that he wasn't going to be there. And I'm always looking for what I'm calling signs of life, like signs of did he just leave and he's never coming back kind of thing. And no, yeah, I was worried about that a little bit. And if anything, I was even trying to prepare myself. I was like, well, if he's never coming back, then I have to do this, this, and this. And I have to be kind of realistic about this at this point, right? I would be very irresponsible thinking otherwise and naive, which that's starting to wear off too. But I don't know. I just, I don't know. I think all day what I was thinking and trying to make this feel like it was a bad thing, that he would be stuck as a forever teenager, 17. But what about the good parts of being 17? I forgot about that, right? I just thought all that was a negative up until maybe tonight. And as I said before, I know him. And that's how I was like, wait a minute. He's just him. And there's no such thing as time. Let's get woo woo with this. You know what I mean? Let's get woo woo now. He is him. And I keep saying this to myself, and that's another, like, so many reasons why I need to be recording myself more. He went too far, too soon, too fast. Sometimes mental illness is the attempt, which, I mean, most people would say, duh, Monica, of course, but going too far, too soon, too fast into the other realms, into the other realms, right? And then there's some people who have abilities to fluctuate in between the realms. And some people get stuck in a realm. Some people's parts of them, meaning most people, I hope, know that they have a physical body, an etheric body, a causal body, so different layers of who they are, where maybe one part of a person, say like the physical body, is in one realm, and then another part, say like, I don't know, causal body, is in another realm at the same time. And mental illness is a missing piece out of another part of your whole, and you're still stuck in the physical body with pieces being removed and being placed into other realms at the same time. I don't know, that's crazy. It's wild. And if that's the case, then you just need to learn how to fluctuate between the realms, right? Aren't we all a little crazy? Maybe we should all learn how to move between the realms, and maybe we can actually save some of us that are stuck. Because I really think some of us are just stuck. So, with these smoothies, nourishing the brain, finding techniques to get the understanding. Yeah. All right. I'm going to end. All right. I got to go to sleep. Good night.